She came in on her day off to hear Biden struggle and cough. Our video of the day comes to us from Rachel Maddow. Ahead of last night's presidential press conference, you remember Rachel, she played Officer Jim Reed in the classic cop show Adam 12. Love that show. Got his autograph at a car show in '76. Cow Palace, look it up. According to Rachel, the stakes couldn't get any higher. Roll it.
This is going to be not a speech, not a one-on-one interview, but a press conference where he's going to be taking the press corps' questions. He does not know what they are in advance. He's going to have to field things standing on his own feet in real time with no teleprompter, all of that. But it happens at a time when I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that, you know, the fate of the world hangs in the balance.
That was before the presser. So how did the world do? Let's just say there's never been a better time to move to Mars.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'll take your questions. I've been given a list of people to call on here. No one's saying that. No poll says that. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president. I think she was not qualified to be president. I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military. Look, folks, this is well, anyway.
Earlier, you misspoke in your opening answer. You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
Hate to tell you, world, you're out of luck. But that didn't stop the White House from gaslighting you like a high school Bunsen burner. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates wrote on X, quote, to answer the question on everyone's minds. No, Joe Biden does not have a doctorate in foreign affairs. He's just that good. You know, I don't think that question was on anybody's minds. He was just that good. Tell that to the people in Afghanistan before they fell off a flying C-130, you gaslighting douchebag. All right, Dagan. You know what's amazing? The Democrats think, like, they say this is like a win because he didn't collapse, but in the way, it's a loss because now they're kind of stuck with him. At least the breakup is now going to be longer.
Right, and the media was back in the bag of the Biden camp. Mm-hmm. So they were not actually doing a favor to the Democrats who wanted Joe Biden to figuratively fall on his face, because they went back to straight fawning. Yeah. The first question last night was, your political future has hung over the NATO summit a little bit this week. A little bit, and how can you reassure the American people you won't have more bad nights? What kind of questions are those? How about just ask him? Okay, in February, you were taking Eliquis, a blood thinner, Crestor for cholesterol, and some nasal spray for allergies. Those were your prescription meds. What other prescription meds are you taking now? Mm-hmm. Do you not know? Well, how many pills are in your hand at night before you go to bed? Do you count them? Who gives them to you? Is it Jill? Is it Hunter? Are you taking any shots that we know of? And I'm not talking about the injections you're getting in your face. By the way, what are you getting shot in your face? I have Restylane, but you look like you have something a little bit firmer going on in here.
David, you are seeing a very interesting pivot here. You had all of these media people panicking, and now they're like, ugh, how are they going to explain this to their audience?
Well, their audience, I mean, MSNBC, it's pretty easy. They're morons to begin with. So you can kind of just rely on that. But also, you know, their whole thing was Joe Biden needs to step down. He's not capable of doing this job. Every single person at NBC News needs to resign. I mean, the past 8 years of their journalistic track record. Again, Russian collusion. They knew it was fake the entire time. The laptop. I can keep going. COVID origin. Every major story of the past 8 years, they have been wrong. So how are they going to even criticize Joe Biden, who is, as I've said, a Halloween decoration, when they are the worst people at their job?
Yeah, no, it's so true. What is the temperature today in New York? Isn't it like 93? And I love the fact that you're just wearing a thick cardigan.
Yeah.
Is this in honor of Judd Hirsch?
No, I'm just leaning into the old guy thing. You know, it's working for Joe. Maybe I can get some of that. Maybe I can.
Maybe you can get a Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
Kat, I feel like, you know what Joe did? Joe, like somehow prolonged the relationship. Like he knew he was going to get dumped. It's like a guy who knows he's going to get dumped, and then all of a sudden he starts, you know, bathing and bringing you flowers. Mm-hmm. And he thinks, I think I got this in the hand, but it's just putting it off.
Mm-hmm. I honestly think that the thing to think about from last night and his presser was not so much how he did, but how we all felt watching it. Mm-hmm. Like it was nerve-wracking. Like you're watching it, you're like, okay, like every single one of us, it's like you're watching someone play a game of Jenga for their life.
Yes.
Which becomes even more crazy when you realize that what you're watching him do that has you that nervous is reading.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
I know.
Like, okay, he got that one. Like,
Yeah.
It's reading.
Yep.
And everyone's like, well, see, that was pretty good reading he did there.
Yes. Got it.
Am I going crazy, or is that quite the low bar?
Yes.
Like he was, it was sure he said some things off the cuff. A lot of it was just like prepared.
Yeah, and then it was always like trailing off to the word anyway. 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 And then, but Todd, it's like he kind of placed his performance in the worst possible position for Democrats, because they would want to, if he fell flat on his face, then they could get out. But now he just breathed enough.
Right. And that's why Trump last night was like, this is great, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Because that was a great night for Trump.
Yeah.
And Kat, you hit the nail on the head. The voters, those of us that actually will decide this election, they didn't think last night was good. Who thought last night was good? The Democrat enablers in the White House like Bates, and the Democrat enablers in the media like Rachel Maddow was like, you know what? He put on a foreign policy clinic like we know he can do, because his last 50 years have been a foreign policy tour de force, as Paul Begala, Clinton's guy, said. Mm-hmm. What's tour de force about this? Killing all those people in Afghanistan, allowing Hamas and Russia to say, well, now's the time to invade. And we've reported on multiple times. Robert Bates said, Joe Biden has been wrong on every single foreign policy decision, and that's Obama's guy. So the gaslighting to rehabilitate what the media did to Joe Biden over 2 weeks is in full force and effect. It is counterbalanced by all these Democrat senators and congressmen who are like, we're out. The big takeaway, this is disarray. And I go back to what I said in the last block. Republicans need to jump on this, because for the first time in a while, you Republicans aren't losing your heads over a speaker vote. The Democrats are the ones that are in disarray and looking like a cluster F of epic proportions. Let them run with it. Take advantage of it next week.
All right.
I'm a one-trick pony today, Greg.
Yes. Maybe I will buy an Acura from this man. Just give me a card, I'll call you. Up next, a stripper bared her thighs, but did she tell some lies?